it, but more new buildings, and everybody's kind of really cleaned up and a lot less slovenly than before. Like, not as many punk rockers hanging around and stuff. Everybody's all clean. No, I think they're polite all over, pretty much. More overall here than in America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like everywhere. Kind of like, oh, I know what I was saying, because in the South in America, like where my mother-in-law lives, she's actually from Yorkshire, but they live out there, and they're really polite down there, but it's a facade. It's kind of like fake, you know. It's just like kind of like, hello, you know. Everybody's like, oh, but everybody knows their place. You know, if anybody gets out of place, then they're not so polite. Here, they're just polite because for the sake of being polite. Well, I enjoyed it more this time than the last two times, because the last two times I was really a lot more nervous, and we never practiced. I just kind of went and did it. And this time we actually got 2 days of practice, so it was a little more comfortable, slightly more comfortable. I was always nervous every night. Even this, it's always every night I get like really nervous. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. I kind of missed Jim though. I mean, I totally missed Jim, but not to put down John any, because he was totally awesome, and he was probably the one that made probably like the least mistakes out of everybody. But really, because I grew up in LA, so it was like ridiculous. Like, I haven't even spent more than 24 hours there in 20 years, so that was the first time. So, and I still couldn't even see like a fraction of my family and some friends and stuff. And it was like the whole time was just filled with going and visiting people, and I couldn't even get around to like, you know, my nephews and nieces and cousins and my sister and everybody. And I'm singing on this other band called Primitive Race. Have you heard of them?
No.
Well, they're like members of Prong and Typo Negative and somebody else. And they asked me to sing a couple songs, then like 5 songs. Now it's a whole album, so I'm gonna do that. But VUA is gonna do an album. We were gonna do like 3. We were gonna do like an album and then an acoustic album, like mix EP or something. But now we're thinking about talking about just combining it, because there's just not enough time. And you know, I gotta do all that shit. So I'm gonna do like an album, but like throw a couple. You know, there'll be some acoustic. You know, it's just gonna be all over the place. So maybe throw some live stuff from this tour on. So there'll be a VUA album, and then I gotta get those guys done. And so, but once VUA does their album, then yeah, we're trying to come out by spring. And just like I said, we're planning on maybe moving out here. So yeah, because my girlfriend's from London, so it kind of makes sense. We're done with Cleveland. Been there 20 years, but it was supposed to be 5. It turned into 20 because the first VUA album took 13 years to get done. So it ended up being 20 years. So we're all done, my daughter, everybody. So we're either moving to LA or here. And we're figuring out. Yeah, that's kind of the plan, because that way I don't have to pay $2,000 just to get here to go play. And plus, I would just go out on weekends, or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then still we can't even get to Europe. We're only going to Paris, and then we have to go home. So I could just go out and play. This Saturday when we played in LA, they did the release party. Billy did he did the worldwide thing on Thursday, and then on Friday we were doing one of these acoustic shows in LA, in Los Feliz, and then they did a listening party there. So it was right before we were getting ready to play, but the place was like totally packed anyway. Roddy came up and played a song for Imperial Tea. And they played it right before we went and played and stuff. But I was like, in a bar and talking and hanging out and stuff. So I heard a little bit, but it sounded really good. But everybody keeps saying it sounds good. It's a different mix and stuff.
Nice.
So I can't wait to. And then they had us carry like a case down from San Francisco to LA, and it didn't even occur to me to nick a couple of albums. I was like, and that's usually what I think of. But it was my own, so I wasn't thinking about it. It's gonna be there, but it's not. So I didn't grab some. So they're sending me a couple copies and stuff. So then I'm gonna sit down and listen to it with a proper stereo and everything. Hey, all these Faith No More followers, it's time all you got in line, and also be Chuck followers, because there's a lot of you, and we can use a lot more than 200